what is going on here with this. We have here in Pearl Harbor, we are repairing a few battleships. Our main battleship fleet is here. Let's go down here. Our carrier fleet is down here with Enterprise, Lexington, Saratoga, Yorktown. We save Prince of Wales and Repulse, so that and we're repairing those currently down here in Melbourne Harbor. We've got a lot of U.S. forces waiting to be deployed into the Pacific theater of operations, and we have the Indians, primarily, shall we say, the Indian Army here, trying to stave off Japanese assaults. And we're doing marginal at best. Hello, 57 Jam today. And the Chinese have formed a fairly decent defensive line, at least from my last playthrough, that should sort of hold out against the Japanese. And I say should because obviously the Japanese can shift a lot of forces and really hammer us. It's just how they're going to deploy their forces versus us is going to be the main determining factor. Now, you can see up here we have, and I know because I just looked around, the Hornet is ready to be deployed. So let's deploy the Hornet. Yeah, we can deploy it here. What I think we're going to do with the Hornet is send it out to this battleship fleet here in Pearl. I don't know that like a battleship only fleet is a good idea in this game. I think a mixed fleet is the best. Hello, Roby. 7979. And Gilmer is here to see how the naval part is handled, naval engagements between aircraft carriers. Yes. I think and I'm trying to qualify all of this, I think for the scale and general complexity level game, scale is in, Pacific wide and all that, and complexity level, I think this is doing the best. This is not to say, because we got more detail in War in the Pacific, Gary Grigsby. So if you want to go, more detailed, yes, there is a more detailed path. But that's what you have to do to get, I think, better. And if, I'm willing to hear other people's, hey, I think this does it better. If we were to use this, and I don't know, because I'm going to try to be cautious here. So I don't know when we're going to see it, whether on today's playthrough, we'll just see how far we get. You can do carrier strikes, move up. There's a fleet up there. Yeah, this is a little too far, but if it was, down into somewhere around here, we could move up to here and then do a carrier strike. And we have the potential to lose, in our launching of our carrier aircraft, we have potential of losing our carriers as well as sinking the enemy. So it isn't just like, oh, we'll only lose our plane contingents that will take a while to, you don't have to specifically rebuild fighter squadrons, but they will be handled as an upkeep and reinforcement upgrade costs. Okay, Beam Slam. Yeah, I watched only a little bit of Edmund's playthrough, but I played some Valor and Victory, and the dice really, I don't know. This is nothing about Edmund and his playthrough, like I just only watched a few minutes of it. But in playing through it, the dice really bring in a random element to the game, and I don't know whether it's my expectation as a computer wargamer, thinking that my brilliance in either tactics or strategy or whatever should be the determining factor. But the die rolls really affect the outcome in that game, good or bad. So, you have that to think about with Valor and Victory. I like it. I just don't know, and obviously it's just from a few couple of playthroughs of some of the games that I got this impression, and so it may be tactical tension. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Look, absolutely. The idea of whether it's rifles shooting at each other or the and the randomness, because if we're going to do a rifle simulator game, we're going to do a first person shooter, okay, and then whatever skill of you with the mouse and the keyboard determine some of that. But if we're playing like a commanding game where you're commanding squads, you need a level of die roll. And similar on a game like this, we have the midway battle, which is a great example of die rolls, in which just by happenstance that all of the torpedo aircraft come in first, and they all get shot down. I think there's only like one surviving pilot that survives being shot down, but they all get shot down. But that means all of the Japanese cap, the fighter protection, is all at low levels hunting for the torpedo planes. When the bombers come in, they should have been coordinated. It was errors in navigation and other things that don't make it coordinated it. But just because all of the fighter protection was low down, that the dive bombers are able to come in and have such it's not quite a turkey shoot like later in the war, but such huge effects on taking out carriers. Now, had the fighters come, the dive bombers come in first, and the fighters cleared them out of the sky, and then saw the torpedo bombers coming in low, they probably could have dived down, because it's a lot harder to climb an aircraft in time. They could have dived down and maybe had just as good of an effect, and the Japanese would have swept the American fighter bombers and torpedo bombers out of the sky. And also the fighter escort was also somewhat missing, if I'm mistaken. I hadn't prepared for this or looked at this in years, but just going from memory. Now, had it all coordinated out right, like it would have been later in the war when the U.S. is getting its act together and training up, and so that the fighters are coming in with the dive bombers and the torpedo planes are all coming in, if not simultaneously, in a coordinated sense, that could have been. So you need a die roll element. It's just how big of an impact should it be? And I'm just not sure on Valor and Victory. I really, don't get me wrong, I liked Valor and Victory. I think it has a lot of potential. I'm definitely going to be playing it more. But it's sort of like what you're saying is, with Edmund, it sort of rang with me, is that luck with the die rolls seems like too big. It seems more like I'm playing craps, which there is strategy in playing, craps. I rarely played it in my life, but there is strategy to there, but it's a lot of die roll luck, or roulette or whatever, as opposed to, I don't know, a game of poker where there is obviously luck and shuffling the cards and who gets what, but there's more skill in playing against an opponent. I guess that's how I'm trying to evaluate this stuff. And yeah, I mean, that's just how I'm looking at it. And you're probably hearing the siren going by outside right now. Okay, so enough theorizing on games. Let's get back to this one. Right. Okay, let's take a quick look here. I want to look at, okay, just mostly looking at upkeep, because we're wanting to build up our keep our units that are in the field in operation. Yeah, and New Zealand. Yeah, okay, good for what they're coming in. Actually, proper totally random dice rolls is very rare. Actually, proper. Yeah. Well, and see, and I do know in Valor and Victory, Edmund, that there is a modifiers, like some leaders elements, and so I don't know, just how much luck should come into the game versus your planning and your strategy, your tactics as the player in the game, I guess, is and what that balance should be is where I'm at the moment with it. Okay, we've just got some transports deployed for Britain and the U.S., which will allow us to embark the East African Division, and we're going to move it along with the battleships up towards Ceylon. Keep them out of action. For now, we'll get the HQ a little closer. So I'm going to, well, what we need to do here is, okay, I think we first need to get that bomber group is at half strength, that bomber group is at full strength. No, we can't move it via transport because of that, probably. So we're going to put these on transports, get them down to Australia. Yeah. Before we really start, and I don't know that we're going to be able to get to Henderson Field before the AI does, or even San Cristobal, we need to make sure that we get enough air power. I really want to support my naval operations with land-based air power, and in essence, to overwhelm the enemy there. Okay, that's close enough. HQ, they're just sort of, there is a garrison force. Okay, let's look at production for the United States. Can air power, air superiority group. We go escort fighters, which we can go to a 1942 model. They have the longer range. So I think we're going to purchase one of them. Well, we have two in the queue. Okay, groups, one in the queue. Really don't think I want strategic bombing at this stage in the game. Yeah, because of all the carriers, having more fighters able to intercept and deal with things, deal with enemy air. I think we should have that. Right, and I don't think for UK yet we're really ready to. That would give us a large corps to move into India to face off against the Japanese, whether in India or in Burma. That would be good. That would be good. It'll take a while to show up. I'm about ready to sneeze here. I hope I don't, but we'll see. And China, I'm definitely not building anything for a long time. We've got enough units. I just need them at operational strength. That was another. That was a very big problem for China, is keeping units at strength. Recruitment was a huge problem. Munitions and weapons production were huge problems. It wasn't unit numbers, it was unit strength that was more of an issue, because if they engaged the enemy generally speaking, they would use up, both supplies of munitions and use up their. Oh, okay, they pushed us out of the city. Pushed us back there. Damn, they're getting across that river. Oh boy, we may have trouble here. Okay, we're holding in Changsha. It's just sort of like what's happening here is you use up your equipment. Rifles dropped, lost in the fields. Basically, almost to the point of being irreplaceable, at least at the scale of operations that was happening and needing to replace them. And so the idea of building new units is out of the question until you really get lots of U.S. supplies coming in. If you're facing a lot of operations, you can presumably in the game. I haven't played it very deep into it, but presumably once you build up the nationalist army strong and it's just sitting around, you can do it. Okay, fleet out, low supplies, no supplies. You could okay, oil supplies are low. I'm guessing these guys here are low supplies. Let's bring them into port here to get them resupplied. We can have oilers in operation that will. This is the bomber group. Once we get it ashore, and let's move it to here and get out there. Hey, Jaculius. Right, and how are... Okay. Let's... Okay, unselect all. Let's grab these two. And we're going to send them out here. We got some Japanese fleet operating out here. What do we know about that? Let's move these guys here. They look like they're doing commerce raiding, maybe, or they're not. Certainly not doing. Oh no, this is us. Oh, what am I thinking about? Ha! I've just seen brown and thinking Japanese. Boy, well, these guys are out doing submarine operations. What am I thinking? Okay. You come back in here. You get into here. We're going to leave the East African Division on board ship. No. Yes. We will be moving up this other HQ, but we already have an HQ in theater up here, so that is not a fast. So okay, yeah. Boy, mistaking wrong units. Because we want to have some destroyer operations. We're going to move in, like I was saying, some good British forces now. Okay, they pushed to here, but they have 3-1. Okay, we lose a bit, and 2-1. They fall back. Okay. Yes, we're going to move up. We're going to move up. We're using the Irrawaddy as a defensive line, and we're going to do that the same here. Move behind the river. Give up the city. They can take the cities if they want. But we're using the rivers as defense lines. These guys, if we can get, let's move you just to there so that you can move up to there. We move this core up. We'll do a lot better at holding than just with the divisions. Sort of obviously, but yeah. Now here. I definitely play the ground forces because I have more experience with it better. Okay. You're going to fall back to there. You're going to come to here. You're going to come to here. If we can hold here and exhaust them, that will be nice. from experience, if I do another landing in one of these areas, I need to come not with a division, but with a corps at least to be able to get in and hold the port and potentially cut off from supply a lot of forces. So the Japanese are there. Well, let's, yes. Okay, Britain, not yet. US, we can build another one of these. Very good. We should, let's see. Okay, we also have the division. Yeah, I want to see what this is all happening. So we're going to deploy this here, sort of coast watcher, signal intercept. Okay, intel level is low. It's just a +3. It could be like a +6 or something. Again, this is partially die roll. Okay, they just ships something pretty light. Yeah, don't know what they have up at truck. Remember, with this game, naval movements are hidden movements, much more so. Okay, 4. I'm looking at the size of the ports here. 2, 4. And we're sitting back here on a 7 size port. I think we're gonna, this was 4, was it? Yeah, I think we're gonna move up to here, future operation potential. Hopefully that will be able to supply us. Hopefully, and they are still repairing. Yes, okay. And back here we get the 27th Division ready to deploy. Gonna give us limited options, but yes. Now, can we? Yes, we can. We've tactical bomber. Those are strategic. I don't, like I say, really. We're not enough to move. When are we as the U.S.? April. Okay, so next turn we should get some more transport. I think I'll just wait. Get that. And yes, as the stage in the game, we are mostly on build-up of our forces. Okay, let's come over here. Transports, we have 5 in queue. Landing ships, we have 0 in queue. So we're going to purchase at least 3 of those. Landing ships are consumed upon use. Oilers, this will definitely help keep forces at sea operational much longer. Truck supply. 10, we need more of those. So let's build one of those. Air transport, let's see how long. Expensive, 150 days. I think we're gonna wait because we're getting down on all of that. Merchant Marine, 100. I think we'll wait on that too. So the only thing left we have is an Intel. No, it's a British Intel unit. I think too. Let me just check on here. Yeah. Yes, thanks for following GSBGSBD, whatever. Sorry, 1. Not good with oddball names. Right, so we're holding there. We push them back across the river. We're moving up the core. We're rebuilding fleets. Right. Let's give Japan their turn. zoom in a little bit so you can see what's going on. Okay, pushing us back along that path. They just took Henderson Field. We are no. I don't know that we. Well, maybe we could have rushed one instead of moving the air down. Rushed one force in and landed there. Maybe. That would have been nice. But that doesn't mean they wouldn't push us out. And without air power, it really gets to be a problem. Okay, we deliver forces or resources to China. Both US and UK got more transports, and Japan invades UK at. Huh? That down here? Huh? I want to. Okay, 103.31. Oh, it's an island somewhere. 103. Oh, would that be 103.31 here? They landed here on. Okay. Okay, that's just them landing on Guadalcanal. Hey, Scooter McDunder, how you doing? So that's what that is. Okay. That I understand. And yes, low oil. They'll be getting some more oil, but okay, these guys will come up to here. Give them a bit more anti-submarine capabilities and unselect all of these, select these guys, and they're going to come down here and sit on our. Or does not have. Oh, we're that low on oil? Am I giving away too much? Probably. Okay. Yep, Britain can't move at all because we're giving away oil to India and Australia. Currently, oil production is 5. Okay. So we're going to cancel New Zealand's oil and India's entirely. Now, the USA is 20. So we may shift some of the giveaway for the USA. Over time, we will be seeing more and more resources show up along here and some more resources showing up down here for the UK. So they will be getting some more elements coming in. Okay, and okay. I will move you to there. That's supplying support for all of these units here. Let's prioritize your reinforcements. So what I want to do is do naval landings somewhere around in this area, cut this railway, cut sea supply through here, and then starve all these units out. That's my goal. That's my objective. Not like for next turn, but just generally my objective. Okay, so what we're going to see about doing is we're going to come out to, I guess, here. Okay, enemy fails interdiction. So they've tried an interdiction with this air unit here, and it failed to find us basically. So here, oh, right. Sorry. Oh, no, not letting us do that. That's right. Okay, we're going to fall back a little bit. And enemy fleet not found. Okay, so that was a failed attempt. Now here, we've spotted them, but I'm not going to attack them directly. We're going to, they're on fleet, but they're going to come out here, and they're going to affect all of this area for anti-submarine operations. We can see for Britain, this is for the U.S., are escorts for these convoy routes. Hello. What is it? Night Reaver, I guess, with a Y. I've never seen this game. Well, this is WarPlan Pacific. There was the earlier WarPlan, which is based for Europe. And this is a grand strategy level of operations for the Pacific War. We're going to put you on board ship. We're going to send you to here. Fairly new out, if that's of point of interest. I don't know for sure. We have no, we checked over here. That's right, nothing to deploy. How are, okay, our battleships. Okay, our battleships fleet is fully repaired from the Pearl Harbor attack. We have the Maryland, California, Mississippi, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Pennsylvania operating here. And we have, this is, we have the West Virginia, Tennessee here. We'll do a reshuffle at some point of our fleets. Now, what we can do here is, I think, close support. We're going to move these guys up into here. So these guys are still repairing or reinforcing, however you want to state that. Submarines were avoiding contact. Yeah, no, it's great, Scooter. I'm glad that Slithering is getting a lot of new people here. Okay, now here, this is interesting in sort of talking about what's happening. You want to keep a line facing the enemy as straight as possible, because if we have a bend like this here, now 3 hexes can attack this hex. So that is not a good option, not the best option. Now here, if this was a little more forward here, we could surround this unit and attack. But since we are basically just Chinese forces and are not in very good shape, we're going to swap that out to put our better forces forward and sort of threaten this force instead of going back to straight. If they had the forces, which they've got them maybe, but if they had the forces to come in, it would be better for them to do a 3-to-1 attack on here. What I have noticed a bit is by shifting and changing stuff around, sometimes you can get the AIs to counter march back and forth. I want to just see what 1-to-1. No, really don't want to grind down. Oh, you can play both sides, but you have to play the totality of your side. You don't like just play the British or just play the Americans. You either play all the Allies or you play all of the Axis, which is basically Japan. There are some Taiwanese forces here just for the fun of it, and I'm ignoring the Soviet Union because it can't do anything until a lot later into the game. So yeah, you can pick your side, and there's also some DLCs, if you will. No, they're base. There are some additional scenarios like a more detailed look at much on a map that's just the Solomon Islands, but in much more detail for a Solomon Islands campaign. So there's a lot of stuff you can look at and do if you want. Okay. We look here. Okay, I'm still. Well, let's. I want to get those guys paired and feel good about it before we start doing too much in operations. Okay, back to production. That's about mostly what we're doing right now. Trying to get the support elements up and going. I want to build a couple of airfields. Here. Merchant Marines. Merchant Marines are running the supplies back and forth. And escorts. Oh, we have 2 in the queue. Yeah, we'll do another one. They're not that costly. Okay. No. Oh. Nope. Okay, so we're coming here. We're going to get to transports. Those definitely will be needed. Okay, the 32nd Division. We're going to need to build up ground forces too. That'll come next turn, I think. We'll be adding some ground forces here. Right, that's what I think I want to do here. That close was very good. It should show us. Okay, they've retreated out of that potential pocket. In China, the Japanese have. So I do fear a concentration of Japanese forces, either here in Burma or in China. But if we can keep them spread out, I think we'll do okay. I'm really thinking about doing something against the communists in the north. Okay, they're attacking down there. Okay, we deliver over the hump. More transports for Britain. Fleet low supplies. Okay, groups sinking a merchant marine. Low oil. Hopefully we're getting better with oil. More merchant sunk. That's why I'm building some more. Okay, well, we need to sort of endure and yeah, okay. Yeah, basically we can't get to them. They're just out there looking around, trying to sink convoys. Oh, we have a ship in area with a battle group. Well, can we get them with a carrier strike? This is going to be close enough. Okay, let's get a little bit closer. Okay, they fail interdiction. Now we're going to do a carrier strike. Oh, shit. We meant to have them all. Oh. Well, that happened. Okay, I did not handle that properly, but let's look at the reports. Here we go. Combat log, surface interdiction. Okay, attacking ships, the Congo Battle Squadron. Defending ships, ambush. Defenders lose 2 from the 4th DD squadron, and the Congo is sunk. So that is what happened there. Oh, close. There we go. And we can see, well, that was the Australian were damaged before. So let's everybody go to port down in Sydney. That will be the best port to get into. So we just sunk a battle cruiser squadron from the Japanese. So that was quite successful. You can see how that sort of worked. And I did not handle that the best. Because you want to move your supporting ships with your carriers and get them close enough. Right. Now, they've tried to push across the Irrawaddy here and failed. Well, let's look at supply. Okay, that... I mean, right now it's not in supply. That's not in good supply, but... Okay, let's just... Well, we can turn off supply here. Let's just... No. Damn, this is a dilemma. Okay, we're facing 2 Japanese divisions here. Japanese corps that's fairly, half strength, basically. Full strength corps up here and a full strength corps up here, basically, though not entirely, combat ready. They've been hammering on here. What do? Do I move this guy here to be sort of in the center here, able to potentially shift up if this is being turned? Or, which we've seen, if we leave this guy down here, they move across the Irrawaddy here and then hit here with 4, because they can shift some cores down, or these could be some cores back here, cores and divisions. So I think we're going to move him down to here and then swap this out. This has the potential of being cut off, maybe not the likelihood, so we're going to pull him back to there. If they can punch through up to here, that would be a problem. Now, again, those of you who don't know, Chinese forces sort of can't leave. I guess they can't get into Burma or India, because notice I have moved these Chinese forces into Vietnam. So he can't come and guard the city, but I think it does cause them a problem if they try to just march through here. So I'm not quite sure they're the effects of having him here, but I'm going to keep him here to keep the supply. If we keep Ledo and Lijiang or Kunming or whichever of these you need to, we get the hump supplies into China. So they've fallen back out of this potential, and it's only a potential of a pocket, but we're going to leave this here just for the moment, let these guys get better shape. Okay, these guys now are in better shape. 3-2, we're going to attack here. Okay, we had losses, they didn't. Now, I wasn't expecting to win. What I wanted to do is just harass them, attack the enemy, make the enemy worried about things. And the Chinese communists are going to do what the Chinese communists always do in World War II, is not attack the enemy, or not attack the false enemy of Japan, and only worry about the real enemy of the Chinese nationalists, I guess. Okay, these guys are down here. Now let's come over to our deployment. Do we have anything other than, oh good, this division. Let's click up here. Well, right. We just have, I don't think there's anything else. Ready? Oh, they're ready. Lahore division. Okay. Lahore, deploy. Yes, we'll put them in Calcutta. Very good. We can use another Indian unit. Now, back over here. This is a Marine division. Marine divisions have special capabilities. So we're going to embark the full points, send them to Australia. I think we have a force that popped out over here. Yes. Okay, this bomber group. Yeah, we're going to come up to here and we're going to disembark the bombers. That's close support. No, oh, these ships are up here. No, we're going to wait. We're going to keep you guys there. Need to get some fighters in theater, though. How long until we get fighters? Okay, fighter group. July. Seems so far off. Seems so far off. Okay, well.